Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. Let me warn you, I got a lot to say. My voice is all the way back, good and strong. So, pop up some popcorn, whatever you got to do. I'll try and keep it under 20 minutes, but like I said, I got a lot to say. First, let me give you some news about my health. Over this past week, the test results for my CAT scan came in, and sat down with my oncologist, and he told me he couldn't see nothing. So the tumor still is in remission. My cancer is still in remission, and he told me to come back in 6 weeks. Well, actually, it'll be 4 weeks now. But that's how I'm living, on a 6-week basis. I have no idea what the next test will show, but every 6 weeks I get tested. This has been 18 weeks since my chemo stopped, or since I completed the chemo. So, let's see. So that's 18 weeks. Yeah, 18 weeks. So it's been in remission for quite a while. Hopefully it'll stay that way. And some other news. Let's do a little spin around the block while I give you some other news. Also, a couple weeks ago, baby Sis, her little pooch died. And for the for the first week, oh wow, warthog fell over. For the first week, she was in a lot of grief. And then finally she texted us all, and there's a picture. I'll put a picture right there of the pooch. But she texted us all, and then we had a kind of on this past Saturday, had kind of a little reminisce about the little guy party. We brought some pizza over there to cheer her up, pizza and beer, and just sat around talking about little Cooper. So, but she's doing good. She's a trooper. This is the first time she had to put down a pet. And I know there's a lot of you out there. I've had to do it twice. So I'm it never gets easy, but the first one's really kind of devastating. So anyway, we got that covered. Let's go back to the spin around the block, because I want to talk about these, YouTube calls them shorts, but I'm not going to call them shorts. Short videos. Because to me, that was just some lazy employee in the conference room saying, hey, why don't we just call them shorts? Which really kind of seemed like some lazy thinking to me. I mean, TikTok was a pretty good idea because your time is limited. So it's kind of like a clock. So they kind of knew what they were doing when they named their short video game. As you'll see up here, I made some changes. Rome wasn't built in a day, but you can see there's 3 new knives out there, and I did 3 shorts on these. The things, I'm just going to call them music videos, okay? Because that's what they feel like to me. I always wanted to get into like the producing aspect and electronic aspect of the music industry. In fact, back when I was probably about 20 years old, I got to sub in at a bar as they had a band every week on local band play. And some weekends I got to sub in on the soundboard and the lighting board, the spotlights and stuff, which was really cool. So yeah, we got 3 new ones here. Over here we got some other, there's 3 Schrades, there's the Cut Master, and this beautiful Shat and Morgan. But what we're going to talk about today is New York Knife Company and Hammer Brand. And Hammer Brand goes from New York Knife Company into the Schrade, Imperial, what did they call it? I got it written down here. We got to give Rodney some time. Get that. I really hope, I was just chatting with William. I really hope he does a dyno dance party video. And we'll see. I bet he will. Because it looked like in the comments section, a lot of people were calling for it. So I'm not quite done talking yet. And we'll get into the New York Knife Company. But yeah, in 1946, what was called the Imperial Knife Association Companies was formed. And those 4 companies were Ulster, Imperial, Schrade, and Colonial. With Imperial and Colonial being the first 2. Ulster, when they closed their doors, they pretty much, that was it. They didn't even sell their name or nothing. They just closed and walked away. Whereas New York Knife Company, had the Hammer Brand name, and they closed. New York Knife Company, let's see, I got that written down too. They closed in 1931. So from 31 to 46, there was no Hammer Brand models made. Unless, I don't know, I didn't do too deep of a dive. Maybe when they closed their doors, they sold the Hammer Brand name to, well, no, they couldn't, because the Knife Association wasn't formed till 1946. All this stuff gets real complicated, but I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible. And I'll put some pictures up there that will kind of explain some stuff, and I'll also put some links in the description box to some real good articles on Colonial Company. A lot of people think they just made like cheap knives, but in their early days they were making stuff for the military and everything else. So, and of course Ulster, they weren't a top of the line company, but they made a quality product. Out of them 4, Schrade was the high-end knife maker. In this association, it wasn't a complete merger. All these companies stayed in their own factories. I think Colonial was in Providence, Rhode Island. Or they moved there. I think they might have started in Connecticut. Or no, Imperial was Connecticut, and Colonial was Rhode Island. And Schrade, of course, was in Walden, New York. And that was, they were close. There was like three different knife companies in Walden, New York. And Schrade was one of them, and New York Knife Company was the other one. I haven't found who the third was, but that's to be determined. And it's really not relevant in what we're going to discuss today. So let's see. We took care of baby sister's pooch. The music videos. Now, I really enjoyed doing those. I hope you guys are enjoying the music. My second passion, well, actually, I got three passions. Well, you can't count women in on that, but as far as hobbies would be music, knives, and then sports. But music, I mean, I grew up in a jazz family with my uncle was a jazz drummer who went on to earn a music scholarship to University of Michigan and then went to teach at University of Nebraska. He actually taught the marching band, and then he went to he played on the drum line too. He was kind of like a teacher, I don't know what they call them, associate professor or something like that. But then he got the full professor title and went to Washington State to teach percussion there. He was a drummer. But he played a lot of jazz drumming, and I grew up with the band Chicago. Dave Brubeck was one of my favorites, so he's my dad's favorite, and I mean, he wore out the Brubeck quartet albums like you wouldn't believe. And of course, he didn't have a lot of money, but he was like me. He spent a lot on a good stereo system for the time. He had one of those big cabinet ones with the turntable. You open the top, and the turntable's down in there, and all your dials and everything. So, but anyway, the music videos are fun. I'm going to continue to do them. But now that my voice is back, I'm going to do these long form videos too. And what's kind of funny is I'm screwing YouTube. Hey, YouTube, gotcha. Because I don't monetize my channel. And I can do copyright infringements, and all they can do is really take it down. But I've had what's called copyright claims, and for a claim, they don't take your video down. So a few of my long form videos where I put music in the background, they got copyright claims. But I looked at the copyright claims, and that's about the worst they would do. But for someone that doesn't monetize, they usually leave it up for, you know, for their own promotion. But if I was profiting off their music, they would want royalties and take some of my YouTube money. And I promise you guys, I'll never monetize this channel because I don't want you to have to sit through ads. You know, no disrespect to the people that do monetize their channel, but this is a hobby. I hate advertisements. That's why I don't even watch regular TV anymore. I mean, it's like 5 minutes of your programming and then 10 minutes of advertisement. And I can't deal with that. I do for YouTube. I'm a YouTube premium member, so when I do watch videos, I don't have to sit through all the ads. So man, okay, we're 13 minutes into this. We gotta get going. A long time ago, someone did a video about show your first pocket knife. This is actually my second pocket knife. Let's see if we can turn this light on here somehow. How come I can't see where the thing is? Still working out the phone deal here. I can't believe there's no setting for it. Alright, well, we'll have to work with what we got. This here, you'll see, my dad made me scribe the initials in here. And, you know, at 10 years old, I think I got this, because My first knife was my Cub Scout knife. We got to get this light to work somehow. Oh, man. Let's see if we can go this way with it, just so we can see. This is ebony, and this is a hammer brand from New York Knife Company. And it was my second knife that my dad bought me when I was 10 years old, because like the weekend before he got this, I lost my Cub Scout knife while we were camping. And I realized that like an hour, it was a 5-hour trip to where the campsite was. So about an hour into the ride back, I realized my knife was gone, and my dad went and turned around, and he knew I was pissed. So he said, "Rick, just shut up. We're going home." He was tired. "I'll get you a new knife. Don't worry about it." So he went to a pawn shop, found this, and it was in much better condition than it is now. You could see the use I put on it. I had this from when I was 10 years old to probably 16 or 17. When I discovered frost knives and I wanted something with bone. And this was worn out. As you can see down here, the coping blade, I found out those don't make good pry bars. And you can see this doesn't go all the way down because I had to sharpen the heck out of it. But it's still sharp and it still works. And I carry this every now and then. Yeah, excuse me, I hope I don't lose my voice. The main blade, there's not much missing here, but there is some. I'm going to put a picture of this really mint Whittler. This is a Whittler, hammer brand Whittler. And I don't know if that's going to focus in. But there's your tank stamp, which is the cool bicep with the hammer in hand. Kind of not too dissimilar from the John Henry Shatton Morgan etch. It's a badass knife too. That's always, a lot of people want me to put the Case Buffalo up there, but nah. John Henry's, he's staying up there. So where was I? Yeah, my second knife. And Dad made me scribe this in here, and I'm thinking, well, Dad, if I lose it and someone finds it, how are they going to contact me? Shut up, Rick. Just do what I tell you. And then I found out later, when I got older, I asked him about it, and he said, well, he had just bought the new scribe, one of them electric vibrating scribes. And I had already scribed all my tools, so, I wanted to get the use out of it or something to that extent. So he wasn't really concerned about me losing my knife and not being able to get it back. But them pictures that I put up there is one of these in mint, probably a 9 out of a 10 scale. So that just shows you the quality that New York Knife Company was making. So that brings us to Imperial hammer brand. We got to turn this down a little bit again. And here's some Barlows. Now these were made in 1945 to 1955. And what was going on, what I like to always, the first thing I think of when I buy a vintage knife, is what exactly was going on in America or in the world at that time. And in 1945, the war had just ended. Not sure if the surrender documents were signed at that time, but 1945, there's a little discrepancy with these being Imperial hammer brand. You'll see hammer brand USA. But the tang stamp says these were made from 1945 to 55, yet the Imperial Knife Association companies didn't start till 1946. So we got to really speed up. 20 minutes. I hope you guys are all still here. But anyway, these are all 45 to 55. And like I said, the war had just ended. A lot of people think after the war ended, the economy, the depression and recession picked up. But it actually didn't, because all them military contracts, well, most of them, ended. So there was a lot of people that were put out of work, and buying a quality budget knife, and this is a quality budget knife if you listen. A little bit of blade wobble on that one, but you got walk and talk, plenty of snap on both blades. And this one, I bought this one with the original sheath from 45 to 55. And even this was built with low price in mind. But can you imagine how many kids around the country woke up Christmas morning to find one of these in their stocking, Christmas stocking? All you have to do is go on eBay, search hammer brand Barlow, and these are the ones that'll come up. You'll rarely see. There's also this, I think it's made in China, which is new, is a hammer brand Granddaddy Barlow. But I couldn't find it. That's another one of those, couldn't quite find a good problem to have. Too many knives, I guess. But anyway, here's a couple Colonials. And I wanted to show you guys that the Colonials, notice how the magnet went to the steel back spring, but it bounced off the nickel silver bolster. These pop right on. Everything's steel on these. And these are basically just heat shrinked. Probably a little epoxy underneath. You'll see on eBay a lot of these, they'll have the cover off and the seller will be saying, rare knife, you know, all aluminum. But it's nothing but a bunch of BS. It's one of these without the covering on it. Also, a quick story to this is I first seen these when I was probably 15 years old. A bunch of us skipped school and went to one of my friend's house because his parents were on vacation. You know how that goes. You get a little drinking going on and maybe a little wrestling. Big time wrestling was very prominent. You know, it was called big time wrestling when it was on TV, but we called it backyard wrestling. We set up a ring and would wrestle a lot. My glasses got all bent up. We went down into the guy's basement to look for a tool to tighten up my glasses. And he had 3 of them, all in the case. And one was black, red, and green. And I also think there's a blue. So I'm looking for a green and a blue to complete the 3-inch set. I'm not too concerned about the bigger one. You'll see, also made in the same time period. This is the bigger Barlow, but I like these as 5th pocket carries to 3-inch. Don't need a ruler for that. You can tell it's a small. And this is a fake mother of pearl plastic, but kind of cool. But yeah, I'm definitely looking for a green and a blue. This is also from the same period, same tang stamp, 45 to 55. Imperial hammer brand serpentine jack. And check out this one. It has a few pepper spots on it, but it's got the full blade. Really nice 5th pocket carry. This one's not as snappy as the Barlows. Oh man, I'm starting to lose my voice again. All right, we're at 26 minutes. Well, trust me, that one opens up. It's kind of springy. This is just out because it's a blast from the past. Because I was going to talk about frost being, when this wore out, I was really into frost knives, because you could go to a knife show and pick them up for $6.99, $4.99, and you get good bone handles. So yeah, this is the Frost Cutlery Canoe with a pretty sweet cover on it. And these were quality too. No blade wobble on that sucker. So there's a little blast from the past. 26 minutes. I think we're done. Oh, this black one I just got in a little while ago, and I had a placeholder, which it was still a really nice knife, but it had slightly not as much. This one I would say is probably 90% of the blade is left, and the other one was probably 80%. And I gave that away to one of the YouTubers in the knife community, and if you wait around, he probably will talk about his. He did some work for me, but I'll let him show you the work he did from me, and maybe he says he likes the Barlow because they are kind of unique when you think about it. I mean, with the cap on it, and they're all really snappy. So it's a $20 knife, although this one I got for like $10. I don't think the person that sold it knew what it was. And sometimes, like for this one, because this is the odd color out, I think this was $40. But the red and black seem to be the most common, and you can get anywhere from $20 to $30 in a used condition state. I would suggest that you wait for one that's functional with a lot of steel on it, because some people are selling them without, you know. But hey, it's used up. That's an old knife. These here would be considered light use for all that time. And the Colonials, I like the Colonial budget knives because they got some different, you can see the threaded bolster, and I don't know what they're trying to accomplish here, but I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, 30 minutes. You guys still there? Hang on, one more. Let's open this up. And then this is the one that I bought because I wanted, Colonial does a lot of advertising Barlows, and this one doesn't have any half stop. And It's quite tattered up. But, you know, and I'm not sure what the date. This could be 80s. Just because it says Coca-Cola 5 cents. I mean, they could have put that on it to make it seem like it's older than it is. These are hard to date, the Colonials, because they didn't change their stamps too often. So there you have it, 30 minutes long. Came back with a bang, huh? Lost my voice again. But yeah, the other thing is to check out my shorts. The thing YouTube does is they don't give your subscribers notifications when you do a short. So that's why I've been putting a link to the short video in the community page. So if you see something in the community page, you got to tap on the read more, and the link will come up for, I'll put a picture of the knife that's in the video. Oh, Lord, I just got my voice back, and it's going. But yeah, it's check out my shorts. I think I'm kind of proud of them, because what I tried to do is match the music to the mood of the knife. It doesn't always work that way, but on most of them it does. So see if you watch them and you can figure it out. They're only a minute long. And William, young man, do us a dino dance party video, please. All right, guys, take care. Peace. Bye-bye.